Well, good morning. We are at the Heritage Museum here in Kota Kinabalu. This is the Sabah Heritage Museum. I will put a map up here so that you can see where it's located. This place is a full-size mock-up of the old culture here in Malaysia with all of its Chinese influences. There are beautiful buildings that have been built here that mock up the traditional lifestyle. I love these kind of museums. These are the outdoor, full-size, take you back in time style museums that I like to visit the most. Actually, I'm a fan of all museums, but these are actually just the best. We're also gonna have a good conversation today. We're gonna talk about getting out of something what you put into it. That's right. We're gonna talk about different things, basically 3 things that if you put more into them, you'll get more out of them. And that's important because I think people live their lives frustrated. They live their lives frustrated and think that everything is working against them. It's not true. Everything is not working against you. It's all about what you put into something, of what you get out of it. And we're gonna talk about that. We're also gonna see this beautiful museum today. And of course, I'm gonna take you to get a great bite to eat. Yeah, you better believe that. We're gonna have ourselves a good meal today. We are wandering around a beautiful museum here in Kota Kinabalu. We better get started.
Traveling the world as a minimalist with one backpack, that is what we do here. Subscribe and come along with Retire and Go.
You know where people are really frustrated right now? I understand it, by the way. It's work. Yeah, people are frustrated with work. I get it. Every year, inflation continues to rise, and maybe your paycheck doesn't. I got caught up in that for years. And I realized if I didn't actually get more valuable job skills, nothing was going to change. And I was going to continue to be broke and continue to live in debt. I had to take and literally stop one job and set up a 2-month, 8-week training program that I set up myself to study for IT certifications. Whew. It was like going back to school, and I just did it at home. I even dressed up every day like I was going to some kind of a professional training facility, even though I was in my house. Why? Because I wanted the mindset as well as the learning. I had to put the work in. It turned out that with the right certifications, I was able to then double my paycheck. Yeah. And started to actually be able to pay off my debts and begin to start investing and change my life financially. Work for me was just as frustrating as it is for many of you. But I realized I had to put more into it to get more out of it. Otherwise, nothing was going to change. If I just kept going to work, doing the same thing, not changing anything, not learning any new skills, nothing was going to change financially either. And I wasn't going to be satisfied more either. If I wanted those 2 things, I had to put into it more, and then I would get more out of it. That's just reality. That's just the way that work is. It's the way life is.
On the way to the Heritage Museum, I stopped here at Mojenum. Mojenum is a good breakfast spot and a good coffee shop. And I saw it the other night, but it was so busy. So I thought, let's stop in and get ourselves a nice English breakfast.
Thank you so much.
I'll leave it up to the English viewers to review. On a scale of 1 to 5, how is this looking for an English breakfast? 1 being, you have no idea what I'm eating. And 5 being, watch out because someone's going to smash a pint bottle over my head. So I'd say this is probably a 3. That's what I would say. You know, every country I go to, I like to have the English breakfast. And of course, it's always a little different. This was about 26 ringgit. So I thought that was a good price for a rather large breakfast. It was missing my bubble and squeak. So I got this good breakfast in me, and I'm walking through town, heading towards the Heritage Museum. It's a beautiful town to walk through, and I took a tumble.
Holy mackerel, I took a spill. Look at I tore my shirt. Oh. I took a spill right here. Look at that. The fucking sidewalk gave way right there. One of them blocks. One of them blocks fell on me. Oh my gosh. Got to be careful, man. Let me take an assessment here of myself. Did I cut myself? Maybe a little bit. My knees look all right. A little bit skinned up there. Just got to watch my step, man. Woo! I came down right into this right here with my arm. Doesn't seem to be bleeding, but I tore my shirt. I'll have to work on that. I'll sew it up. Ah, man. Woo! Gotta be careful. Yep, that thing right there, that'll get you. Right there. There was a cement blocks there and it went down. All right. Just be careful. Oh man, I found some shade. I'm gonna sit down and do an assessment here. Okay, I tore my shirt, but it's not bleeding. That's good. I skinned up my leg right here. Oh, you know, I have as I'm walking around Southeast Asia, I have a thing where I try not to walk on grates and cement blocks and things like that, because you never know, right? And you know what? I just got to adhere to it. It's my fault. I got to adhere to that rule. Don't walk on grates. Don't walk on these cement blocks that cover things, because they're just not safe. I joke that sidewalks in Southeast Asia are obstacle courses. And, you know, these Keen shoes, they really help me out a lot. Right here. They really protected my feet. My toes are safe. Just a little bit above my ankle where the Keens are not. That's what got scraped up. Woo! Oh, man. I went arm first into that cement block. Okay, I'm going to go home and shower and do an assessment here. Hey, just got to be careful, that's all. Woo!
Back at the beautiful Heritage Museum. And by the way, this place costs 15 ringgit to get in, and you can just relax all day.
Another thing in life that you will get more out of as you put more into it are relationships. It's true. You put more into a relationship, you'll get more out of it. It's just a fact. And a lot of times people, again, are in this sort of doomer attitude where they say relationships are just falling apart around the world. And I believe it's because our attention is so divided by social media and also by opportunities, because people are just not as loyal to each other as they should be in relationships. You know, have you ever wondered what happened to that relationship that I was in? And then you look back on it and realize, oh, well, actually I took time and I just never contacted the person. I just stopped all contact. Well, yeah, you stop putting into a relationship, you'll stop getting out of a relationship. That's the way it works. You have to work at it if you want to get something out of it. Relationships are not necessarily complicated. They just take commitment. That's it. And if you're committed to a relationship, you will get what you want out of it. But again, if you take it where, oh no, you can just go out and do other things with other people, you can spend more time at work than you do with the people that you care about at home, all of these things, all right? You don't focus, which is the key. You don't focus. Well, you'll get a lot less out of it and you'll wonder what happened. Why did this fall apart? Because you didn't put into it what you expected to get out of it.
This Heritage Museum offers both this village that was built to scale, but also a lot of great hiking trails. So just be prepared. You know, be prepared to get muddy, or be prepared to at least have a really good workout and bring water with you. I really needed to hydrate. It's so humid today.
Whew. Look at this right here. Going up, 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 up. You see that? I got a 45-degree angle. This actually leads in nicely to the next thing I want to talk about. And something that I had to tell myself. If I wanted to get out of my workouts and my diet, controlling my drinking, eating less carbs, if I wanted that to all work, it was directly correlated to what I put into it. In other words, I can tell myself all the fancy things that I want. I can butter it up as much as possible. But the fact is, if I'm not doing it, I'm not going to get anything out of it. When I say that I have to cut back on my carbs, on my drinking, I need to exercise every day. These long walks, working out in the room, hydrating, ooh, especially today. It's a hot one here in Borneo. Whoa, hot and humid. If I expect results from this, I have got to put in the work. Otherwise, it's just lip service. And that's the way it is for just about everything in life. We could talk about investing if we wanted to. We could talk about just about anything. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. It's just reality. And I think that the sooner that we realize that, and we start really taking what we do seriously, we start to look at the world differently because we don't think that it's working against us. We realize it actually works with us just fine. We just have to put in the work as well.
A wonderful day at the Heritage Museum. And now let's head back to the room because we've got to figure this all out. I've got an injury and I've also got a shirt that's damaged. Let's take care of the injury here. So I got some antibiotic ointment that I travel with. And of course, I have these great Band-Aids. These are like waterproof Band-Aids. They are awesome. I checked to see if my little travel sewing kit would work, but I didn't have the right color. So I was like, well, let me go see what I can find. And I was able to find Semi-Fashion Tailor over at the mall. They were very cool. I showed them the shirt and what's going on. This place, they were busy too. They had customers coming in, but they just hopped onto one of the machines and yes, they had the right color. So they just set it all up and took care of business. They did a good job. I couldn't even tell, man, when I was looking at it. I was like, what the heck? They stitched a little on both sides so that it matched. Cool idea.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to thank you for spending some time with me today. Today, we got a chance to have a good conversation and we got a chance to walk around this beautiful full-size mock-up museum of old culture here in Malaysia, with its amazing Chinese influences. Let me do a turnaround so you can see the scale of this village that has been built. And it goes up into the mountains, all of it. Just amazing. 15 ringgit to get here and spend the day just enjoying yourself. Are you interested in this lifestyle that I live? Traveling the world as a minimalist with one backpack? Well, if it does interest you, like and subscribe to the video and come with. This is what we do. You can support the channel by picking up a copy of my new book, The Traveler and the Bard. The link is in the description. All right. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this day in the museum here, walking around, getting a good walk. It's hot. It's humid too. Woo! Got to stay hydrated out here. We'll talk again soon. Aloha.
I was just peacefully walking through the jungle trying to mind my own dang business, and suddenly he saw me, the ninja attack cat of the jungle of Borneo. Just look at him. This is a rare chance to see a vicious animal that's usually in the wild. The ninja attack cat of the jungle.
Right there. The rare Malaysian jungle attack cat. He ain't got no time for me. He ain't got no time for my foolishness. You know what else falls under that same guise. What was that? You guys see any snakes over here, you let me know. Holy mackerel, look at this place. Look at this swamp here behind me. Dude, there could be some massive snakes in there. Maybe I'm going to change my location right here. I might just move to another location right here.